Namaste friend, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to talk about an alternative school or alternative education which I want to relate to my personal story. I was born and grew up in Nepal. When I was a child, I never wanted to go to school. I hated school every day, every moment. So at the beginning I thought that I was the only one. When I was in school, I asked many of my friends at that time and they said the same thing. They didn't want to go to school because of their choice. They wanted to come to school because their parents wanted them to be there. So in that situation, school was not anything that children like. So I ask you a question. Do you imagine the same type of school, or can we imagine a different type of school which promote happiness, passion and peace? If school is sort of boring, where you don't want to go, you don't want to learn, what is that for? Now I realize that I didn't want to go to school because nothing was interesting for me. I was nature lover by birth. I wanted to know about plant, leaves, insect, all these things. Schools wanted me to learn about all the numbers, all alphabets. For me, that alphabet didn't give any meaning at all. I didn't find any reason of learning this alphabet or learning these numbers. So I had to be there because my grandfather wanted me to be there. Then I came to the US and I didn't want to go to the university, but I had to. When I met many friends, my US friends, then I asked them if they wanted to go to school. Most of them said no. They even didn't like to go to school. Then I work as a peace educator. I asked children if they enjoyed there. They said they didn't enjoy much because the whole educational system is that's not for children to enjoy. Maybe for parents, maybe for adults, maybe for teachers, but not child-centered. So I did some research. Then I found some interesting quote. Let me read for you, which connect somehow to my thinking. I hated going to school when I was a kid. It was torture. Elon Musk. I was never able to get along in school. I am at the foot of my class. Thomas Edison. This coercion of school had such a deterring effect that after I had passed the final examination, I found the consideration of any scientific problems distasteful to me for an entire year. Einstein. How I hated school and what a life of anxiety I lived there. I counted the hours to the end of every term. Winston Churchill. Let me read some more. Soap and education are not as sudden as massacre, but they are more deadly in the long run. Mark Twain. What does education do? It makes a straight cut ditch of a free meandering brook. Henry Thoreau. I hated school even to this day. When I see a school bus, it's just depressing to me. The poor little kids. Dolly Parton. There are some more. I am going to suspect all elaborate and special systems of education. They seem to be built up on the supposition that every child is a kind of idiot who must be taught to think. Anne Sullivan. My grandmother wanted me to have an education, so she kept me out of school. Margaret Mead. Thank goodness I was never sent to school. It would have robbed off some of the originality. Beatrix Potter. So when I read about other educationists, philosopher, or some of the people I just named, I felt that school, in conclusion, school was torture, like Elon Musk said, for many, many people, because this type of traditional type of school was not made for promoting learners' passion or learners' aptitude or skills. So why do we need to learn something that is not helpful for a learner? What's the point of learning? If a school is just producing only like all same kind of, let's say, poor people, how can you imagine developing their curiosity, developing their critical thinking, developing their, let's say, originality? How can you imagine learners' uniqueness? I think that's very, very hard. So that's the reason I'm proposing a different type of school, an alternative education that promote peace, passion, and also happiness. Why happiness? Because when you are happy, happiness or peace, they are not means to end, they are not end, they are means to an end, meaning they are the primary steps. What I mean to say is that if you are not happy, if you are not peaceful, what's the point of learning anything? If you are not happy in the first place, what's the point of being successful in their professional career? There is no point of learning or having good career that is not meaningful at all. So if education is not meaningful, if education doesn't help you live a fulfilled life, there is no point of learning at all. So I would say an alternative school that I am proposing, I would say is an alternative school for peace, passion, and happiness. That school promotes playing, not even learning by doing. Learning by doing is okay, but more than that, learning by playing, learning by enjoying life. Can you imagine if you learn something by playing, how fast you learn, how happy you become? If you learn something that you don't like, you might learn it, but you might never use it. Again, when I reflect on my personal life, from my early child to my PhD level type of life, I may have used just less than 10% of thing I learned. Whatever I learned in my 2 masters, I don't think that I even use, let's say, even 10%, perhaps maximum 10%. So all the time I spend, which if I could start early in my life, that I really, really wanted to do. For example, I was drawn to nature. I had immense curiosity. Nobody could even dare to answer my questions. My all questions were forcefully, they were stopped or blocked. So I was just I was hungry to know many things. For instance, I remember when I was a child, I asked my grandfather, why this particular leaf is different than other leaves? Why this is green? I asked the same question to my teacher. They were just stop. Their answer was stop. Just don't ask this kind of foolish type of questions. Just it's green. And then what could you expect? Even I didn't know at that time that the leaves could have different color, for me it took some time to understand that there are different colors of leaves. As a child, I thought, oh, okay, that's kind of default. Leaves are green, leaves are green. So, based on my personal experience and other people's experience, I am convinced that we need to imagine or think about an alternative school for peace, happiness, and passion. I want to start that kind of school. And I need your help, suggestion, and feedback. I think we can do it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe this channel. I will be keep posting more videos about this. See you in next video. Thank you.